Well, hi everybody. Hope everybody's having an awesome day. So this is the newest addition here. This is going to be my strawberry garden. Using old tires. A friend of mine's got a tire shop down in town and he lets me take as many as I want, so I'm going to keep on taking them as I need them and try to figure out ways to build stuff with them. But as you can see, my garden, I'm getting there. I've got I got a lot more to do, but this is the beginning of everything here. As I go throughout the day, I just try to figure what I can use my little compost pile that's growing. I planted a whole lot of blueberries. I have some nice blueberry bushes this year, next year, and probably for the next 5 years. I think 5 or 6 years a blueberry bush lasts for, but they'll keep dropping and repropagating and doing whatever they can. This is my blackberry. I've got so many of them. So I don't know how many of you have been paying attention to what's been going on. I'll give you a brief rundown on what's been happening in the world of craziness we live in. Stock market had a big sell-off yesterday all the way around, from stocks, bonds, cryptocurrencies were hit pretty hard. Everything sold off, and then today, of course, everything went up, and somebody's buying these bonds. I don't know why they're buying bonds. It's probably the most ridiculous thing in the world, is to go ahead and buy bonds. Bonds are they're oh gosh, it's such a terrible investment, because right now at this point, buying bonds, you're paying for them, and you'd have to pay to have somebody take them. It's just getting so weird. You know that the Fed is buying back the bonds. That's what they have to do in order to maintain some kind of stability, and that's only because China's been selling off our bonds at pretty much record rates, and Russia, well, we're just in a world of crap right now with everything. And as you can see, we got beautiful weather here. I am looking at 65, maybe even 70 degrees today. And hopefully, look at that mullein plant growing right there. That's awesome. Looking at some rain coming in, thank goodness, because we need it. We have been getting rain, but it's been here and there, not as much as I'd like to see, to help everything move along. Keeping the ground soaked for my garden to get started here in a couple, 2-3 weeks. I got a lot of work left to do. Anyways, everything geopolitically is so crazy right now. North Korea's kind of on the radar, off the radar. Every so often we get oh, this is what North Korea's doing. We're going to war. Nobody wants a war. Nobody's going to war. If we do, it's going going to be an absolutely insane situation. If there is a war and there are nukes dropped, they're going to be few and far between. There'll be enough for the globalists to enact whatever agenda they need to in order to usher in the new system that's coming. And we all see that the new system, very weird. Look at that. Something's been rubbing up against that tree right there. And it's not even a tree, it's a little sapling. And in that case, what we're going to be doing is getting very poor very quick. And I've been saying this for a long time. Just be prepared to become very poor very quick. And now, this isn't, I don't care if you have one of the greatest jobs in the world. It's not about that. It is all about being able to survive in a world where nobody can pay anybody very much money for a while until certain things are taken care of. Globally, or maybe until the whole global system is put into a place where, hey Dusty Rooster, that's my Dusty Rooster. Oh, little big boy, yes she was, she's a good dog. And my Brandy dog, hi Brandy dog. But they need to put all this stuff into place throughout the system in order to keep people as poor as possible, begging for change, and able to accept a new system whether they like it or not. That's what it's all about. Get people into a situation where they have absolutely nothing and absolutely nothing to lose and only everything to gain by accepting their system. The first people to go, they're gonna acquiesce. Doctors, lawyers, and people that are making money now that are very much used to a lifestyle and not wanting to give it up. And without a doctor and a lawyer and police officers and all these other things, it's just going to be absolutely chaotic and people are going to die. And people are going to be begging to have what they once had. And in order to get it, they're going to be told that they have to buy into the system and live this new way, do these new things, move into city centers. It's the Agenda 2030 proposed by the UN and put into place by every country out here, because the debt system we have now is no longer viable, and we have all put ourselves into this situation and agreed to it and done whatever we can to support it. with our money, with our time, with our attention, with our willingness to even be incarcerated, be killed. All of these things that are happening around this world right now, we've all supported it up until, and we will support it up until it finally quits. Supporting it is going to be our downfall, not because these people have put it there. They put it there and we just took it and ran with it. Why? Because we were forced to. And then over generations, we lost the narrative. We lost the reason why this even happened in the first place. We lost everything. We lost our hope. We lost everything. And only because we gave into it, we supported it. And that was mainly because the people who were making money were brought into it. Well, look at what they're doing. They're increasing the role of government workers. They're increasing the role of all these people who are going to want to support it if it falls. More and more and more people will lose their life savings and then be offered the ability to get it back, and offered the ability to keep on with their lifestyle in a different way. Because this living out here is not going to happen very much longer. It can't. They have to condense us into smaller areas for control, money-wise. Out here we can trade, we can grow our own food, we can be self-sufficient. We can survive without a system. They will root us out, and they will take what they want, and they will force us or kill us to move into these cities, to move into these places where they will have total control of everything. And why? Why you say would they want to do that? They're doing it to themselves. Of course they are, but they don't care. And trust me, the people that are at the top of that food chain, they're not going to be living in the cities. They'll be living out here. They will be enjoying what God has given to us. Now, my ancestors had a lot to say about this. And they had a lot to say about living with the earth, and being with the earth, and trusting God and allowing God's beauty to flourish. I was reading some old Inuit stuff and some old Hopi stuff and even some Navajo stuff, and you know, it all comes down to this, is that every tree that grows around it grow other plants, and those plants that grow around that tree have a piece to play with that tree. In some way they feed that tree, whether it's through the soil, or whether it's through attracting certain insects or animals. Every plant that grows naturally around every tree has a benefit to that tree. So when you go and you take a seed and you plant a seed and you grow a tree somewhere that's just random, that isn't where it belongs, it doesn't have the same effect as it does of these trees just growing. And what my ancestors said was to, well, basically tread lightly in God's creation and disturb the least you can. And basically now it's been put out as some leftist agenda or whatever it is, but it's not. There's some leftist agenda that what you should do is be at one with nature. Well, you should be, because this is what provides everything. We're connected to the tree. And we're connected to the tree, and this was a Hopi thing. We're connected to the tree because when we breathe out, the tree breathes in, and when the tree breathes out, we breathe in. We support the tree, and the tree supports us. And it's all right to go ahead and just pull things out and move things around as you need to. And do what you need to in certain circumstances. But the thing about it is that don't clear cut. Don't go in and just destroy entire forests. Select cut. Do what you need to do in order to survive. But destroying everything around you isn't going to solve anything. That's what we do now. And we're conditioned to do it. We destroy everything that's around us, near us, close to us. Because that seems to be our way either to get back at somebody or to just let out our anger. Now, what we need to be doing is paying attention to what we're doing and take responsibility for what we're doing. There's another thing Hopi said, that we should all start learning to realize what responsibility is. You know, and while we have the freedom that we have, be responsible and consider everything that God has given us, because God's given us everything. And in so many instances I see, Christians, Buddhists, Hindus, Jews, Muslims, they just don't give a crap. Well, God gave it to us to use. Yeah, he did, responsibly. He also told us to be stewards. And we're not. We're not being stewards at all. We're being destructive. And not taking into account what is here and how to do it, how to use it, and how to allow it to be. There's a responsible way of dealing with things. There's a responsible way of managing our land. There's a responsible way of managing our water. Gosh, look at our water. Our water is so polluted. It's almost sickening. And that we're polluting the skies everywhere we go. This morning I got up, I have never seen more chemtrails in my life, just polluting. Because this is what we do. We pollute, we destroy, we do whatever we can to benefit ourselves. I think those days are about over, ladies and gentlemen. I think we're at the end of that whole situation. Right now, we need to start thinking about what is going to work for everybody and God, not just ourselves. Without that, we lose. We always did. We always will. We'll slaughter ourselves. We'll destroy ourselves. We'll crush ourselves. We'll enslave ourselves. We do all these awful things to ourselves without even thinking about what the ramifications are for future generations. My people used to follow the stars to cross the Arctic in the winter. They can't even do that now because everything is not aligned anymore. Everything's crazy now. I think it comes back to it is that God is taking us, and he's going to shake us up. The Bible said it. A lot of Native American and Indian prophecies have said it. Eastern religions have said it. It's a time of the great shaking. We will all suffer for what we've done and how we've treated God's creation. Instead of looking at it and saying, look, this is so beautiful, this is so awesome, we look at it and say, what can I get? What can I take? How can I benefit? Well, I've ranted for too long. Anyways, keep an eye on everything geopolitically, and keep an eye on the markets for right now. They're really up and crazy. It's up and down so hard right now. It's beginning to shake itself loose. There's only so much they can do without affecting the entire world, and then having the world getting totally pissed at us for what we're doing to try and maintain our markets. Shit's getting real. Out.